Most skinny fat guys are stuck in this hamster wheel. The same way a hamster is running, 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 but never actually covering any distance is the same way I see skinny fat dudes every single day DMing me. We'll hop on calls, we'll have conversations in real life too. Like, they'll tell me a bunch of the decisions they've been making, new habits they've been picking up, things they've been trying, new methods of getting shredded they see online. But month after month after month, they've yet to see any progress. They've yet to lose any significant amount of body fat, build any significant amount of muscle, or get any more definition. They'll usually tell me something like, I'm getting a bit stronger in the gym, I've lost like 3 pounds, but I feel like I look the same. And it's like, yeah, that's what everybody tells me. You're stuck in the hamster wheel. And this is me a year after I took this picture of me on the left here. And I want you to keep in mind, no matter where you fall on this spectrum, it doesn't matter. So this is the skinny fat spectrum, right? Anything fatter than this is probably just getting into fat and overweight territory. Anything skinnier than this is like underweight territory. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and I can tell you it doesn't matter where you are. And I've also coached a lot of guys who fall somewhere in between here. It doesn't matter where you fall. The plan remains the same. The only thing that changes is the amount of time it's going to take for you to reach your goal. So this is me at like the very start of my journey. I took this picture maybe like a week into my fitness journey. I was on the fatter end. I was 180 pounds, 175 pounds, around that range, at 5'11". And this was me about 3 months later at 150 pounds, at 5'11", 150, 155 pounds, around that territory. And I still looked skinny fat specifically. I still didn't have any definition. I didn't have any abs. And that's why I do what I do now, because I got stuck in this hamster wheel where I was like, I'm doing cardio every day. I'm sticking to my calorie deficit, but I'm not getting ripped. What is going on? It's been 3 months and I've lost 25, 30 pounds, but I look the same. So that's why I do what I do. And that's why I'm making this video to you guys. And I want you to understand that it doesn't stop. I got in shape in my first year. Well, I really got like in shape after my first 2 months once I learned this method, but I got my dream physique within my first year, and then I continued year after year after year to get better and better. I'm always making progress. And it's important to ask this question: what makes a lean athletic physique aesthetic? We need to like understand what we're shooting for specifically, because most of the time people are like, I want that athletic physique, but like, what does that actually mean? All right, so let's break it down. Well, there's really 3 components. Number 1, having a low body fat percentage. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows you need to be lean. But what people don't really talk about is you need to have a good muscular frame underneath. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be like the Hulk and be super jacked, but you need at least a strong foundation of muscle, because that's what sculpts the aestheticness of the physique. Like you see me on the left here. I'm 175 pounds at 5'11" here. So I'm not some skinny little twig, but I'm also not big and jacked either. I have, you can see the chest definition, my abs, my obliques, veins in my arms and whatnot. There's like cuts everywhere. And that's because I'm not only at a low body fat percentage, but I also have an aesthetic muscular frame at an above average weight. Like, you don't want to be underweight. You don't want to be like barely healthy weight. You want to like be average to above average weight while being at a low body fat percentage. And there's one problem with this that goes all over a lot of people's heads, and that it's that these things are delayed indicators or results. So having that low body fat percentage, having that strong foundation of muscle, having an average body weight while those first 2 things are true, those are results. They're not things you can change, meaning there's no like knob you can twist down that lowers your body fat percentage. There's no button you can press that increases your muscle mass. Those are byproducts of doing things, tasks, every single day. And I even broke it down like synonyms for these words just so you could really understand it. Delayed means late. Indicators meaning signs. Like, these are late signs. These are results. They're not things you can control right now, but they're things that you can do right now. There are things you can do right now to make those things inevitable. And I'll give you a perfect example. So you see this farmer here. This farmer wants to grow a tree. That's his dream. He wants to have this big, strong, beautiful tree. So what does he do? Well, he goes and he plants some seeds. And he waters the seeds. He picks good soil, makes sure it has sunlight, good oxygen, everything like that, and he waters it. Day 1, he waters it. A few weeks pass, he waters it again, goes to water it again, it sprouts. It's a little 2-3 inches tall. Little plant. He waters it. A few more weeks pass, It's grown a bit. It's maybe up to his knee. Continues to water it. Continues to watch over it. Daily routine. Water it, water it, water it, water it. He knows the routine. A few months pass, and it's as tall as him now. He shows up. He waters it. Let's say 1 decade passes. 10 years pass. The tree is huge. It's giant. It's big. It's strong. It's the tree that he used to dream of. And what does he do? He shows up and he waters it. And so what's the message here? The message here is that nothing changed. There was nothing he did differently on day 1 compared to day 10,000. He showed up every single day after the seed had been planted and watered it. That's all he did. All he did was water it every single day. Nothing changed. And it's the same thing on your fitness. That first day in the gym, that first day you track your food, you diet, nothing changes between the version of you who doesn't have the results and the version of you who's ripped. You do the same things on day 100 or day 1 and day 100 or day 1,000 or 10,000, whatever. And so the same thing in driver's ed. Driver's ed, they teach you to keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes on the future, but they focus on teaching you the mechanics. The first time you stepped in a vehicle, they didn't say, drive to that building, or we're going to go to this place, just drive to it. You would be like, I don't know how to do that. Which one's the gas pedal? Which one's the brake? You'd probably crash. They teach you to keep your eyes on the road, but you focus on the mechanics. You focus on how hard to press the gas pedal, how to use momentum when you're driving, how to use the brake, how sensitive the brake is. Like, you start to learn all of these mechanics. And the point is, you have to focus on the daily habits that make losing impossible. So I'm creating this ultimate guide to get you guys ripped, to help all of my skinny fat guys who used to be like me, who are like I used to be, get them ripped. But it's important to understand that there is no knob to twist down that will get you ripped. There are only daily habits that can make getting ripped guaranteed. And so we come back up here and let's follow this. We take the 3 things. Okay, now that we understand the mindset we have to operate in is like, okay, my focus is really just on doing the daily tasks. Now you're asking the question, what are the daily tasks? Well, let's get into it. So, like we said, the 3 things that we need to change is to lower our body fat percentage, build an aesthetic muscular frame, and be at an above average weight, right? So what we're not going to do is like these monkeys are doing right here and just throwing a bunch of random things at the wall and seeing what sticks. I can't tell you the amount of skinny fat dudes I talk to who tell me the same story. I don't eat junk food. I eat fairly healthy. I go to the gym, but I don't really have a routine. My friend gave me this routine, or I saw it on TikTok, or sometimes I just go from machine to machine, or sometimes I just go and I just do cardio or walk on the treadmill. And then with the food, it's like, I go to the grocery store, I look up recipes. I like I said, I don't eat junk food. I eat fairly healthy. But they're on the call with me for a reason. They're not ripped. And the reason is because you can't have a mediocre game plan and expect to get exceptional results. Michael Jordan, when he wanted to become the greatest basketball player of all time or win a championship, you think he was in practicing the same way the high school varsity team is practicing? No. He has a higher level strategy that allows him to become the man who has a higher level outcome or a higher level life or a higher level reward. Exceptional strategies breed exceptional results, and mediocre strategies breed mediocre results. So let's get to the specifics. Let's get to the formula. 3 things: calorie deficit, a protein-dense diet, and lifts. Those 3 things combined can guarantee you to get ripped. There is nobody on planet Earth who does these 3 things every single day and does not get ripped. They may be in the process of getting ripped and they don't look like it yet, but you're either in the process of getting ripped or you're already ripped if you do these 3 things every single day. Now let's get even more specific. Calorie deficit. When I say calorie deficit, I mean specifically 600 calories under your maintenance. This is like a pretty standard calorie deficit. You can go a little bit higher, you can go a little bit lower with how many calories you want to eat under maintenance. It doesn't matter. I suggest 600 calories below maintenance. If you're really ambitious, go for 800, 900, 1,000, sure. But most people, 600 is good. The second thing is we need to have a protein-dense diet. For every pound that you weigh, you need to be having 1 gram of protein per pound. So it's like if you weigh 170 pounds, eat 170 grams per day. If you weigh 162 pounds, eat 160 grams of protein every single day. And the third thing is lifting. 8 to 12 sets to failure per muscle group per week. So for example, if I have a chest day, if I hit a chest day twice per week, and in each chest day, I do 2 sets of incline dumbbell press and I do 3 sets of pec deck machine fly like this. That's 5 sets total for each chest day. If I hit that chest day twice per week, that's 10 sets to failure total for my chest. That falls in the 8 to 12 range. Now, let's understand why this actually works. I like teaching people what to do and then also telling them why, because I feel like when I'm taught why, I understand it so much more and I'm able to comprehend it and then kind of like maybe even make a spin-off in my own way. But I need to understand it. So the importance of a calorie deficit is that it uses body fat as a energy source. So when you're eating 600 calories under your maintenance, what that literally means is I'm burning, let's say 2,500 calories a day. That's how much energy I'm using, 2,500 units of energy. And I'm only going to eat 1,900. 1,900 because that's 600 below the 2,500. So where does that extra 600 come from? If I'm getting 1,900 from food, but I'm burning 2,500, that's a 600 calorie deficit. Where is that coming from? It's coming from your body fat. It's coming from your weight. It's coming from you. It's coming from what you're already composed of. And it's going to use body fat as an energy source in the moment. Second thing, a protein-dense diet isolates fat loss and gives muscle building blocks. So like a big problem I ran into was I was eating in a calorie deficit, but I wasn't having high protein, so I was losing muscle. I lost strength. But when you have a protein-dense diet, it gives your muscles the building blocks, and combined with lifting, it gives your muscles the building blocks to not only maintain, but to grow with. If you just have 1,900 calories a day, if it's a 600 calorie deficit, you have 1,900 calories a day of just carbs and fats, you're going to lose muscle. Like protein's essential. And then the third thing is lifting. Lifting will stimulate the muscle growth to sculpt a muscular frame under the body fat. Cool, understood. We lift to build muscle. We eat protein to help build muscle, but also help cause the calorie deficit to solely target fat. And we eat in a calorie deficit to lose weight, right? All those things combined equal getting ripped. It's guaranteed. Like I said, there's nobody who does that who doesn't get ripped. But there's something important to understand. Tracking is the only way to guarantee results. So yes, those 3 things are the 3 pillars, but the same way these 3 sales are the only things that's going to move you forwards is the same way that without a compass, you're not going to know where forwards is leading you to. That's the same way tracking is not going to... It's the same way going without tracking is like being directionless. It's like sailing without a compass. Yes, your sails are moving you forwards, but if you don't know where you're going, then you don't know where forwards even is. You don't even know if it's a desirable location for you. So you need a track. And how do we do this? What do I mean by tracking? Well, if you're not one of my clients and you don't work with me one-on-one, then you can just use MyFitnessPal. This is just a free calorie tracking app. This is what I use. You can track your weight in it and you can track your food. And when you input what food you eat, it'll tell you how many calories, protein, carbs, fat is in it, right? And you can also customize how many calories you have as like a budget each and every day. So it's customizable for you. But if you are one of my clients and you do decide to work with me one-on-one, you get access to the Better Lifestyle app. Now, this connects directly to MyFitnessPal so I can see their full dashboard, and this way they never miss. And not only do they never miss, but they also don't ever feel like they don't know what to do. But the third thing is that they always can go to bed knowing they're making progress. When you're on this journey, uncertainty is very prevalent. You feel uncertain. You feel like, oh, I don't know if it's working. Maybe I'm wasting my time. But when you have this dashboard of just straightforward tasks laid out for you, they're still hard. It's still hard to stick to these numbers every single day. It's still hard to hit your workout and track your weight and hit your step count if you have one. Not everybody has one, but some people do. It's hard to do those things, but it's straightforward at least. Why would you waste your time worrying about if you're doing the right thing and instead dedicate your efforts towards something that's already been figured out? The game plan for you is science. It's already been figured out. But what hasn't been figured out is your ability to do it. is the effort you can put in. It's your potential. So it's hard, but it's simple. It's not complicated. And while all of this is great, and all of this is truly the ultimate formula to getting ripped, it lies on a foundation. And this foundation is being unstoppable. It's being unstoppable. How quickly can you return to baseline after a setback? After an exceptional event? That's truly what it means to be unstoppable. And we talk about how consistency is key, and I attribute so much of my success and so much of my progress to my relentless consistency of just showing up every single day and doing what's required and never stopping, even if I have to slow down, even if I'm not perfect. I continue to show up and give what I got, right? I credit so much of my success to that, but I believe that consistency stems off of the root of being unstoppable. The root is committing to yourself that you will not stop. Even if you have to slow down, even if you have a bad day, even if you get bad sleep, even if you're busy at work or you have this going on or somebody dies, no matter what happens, commit to yourself that you'll never stop. You'll never truly give up on these goals, even if you have to slow down. And when you have that foundation, that's like the grease or the oil or the gasoline to a car, right? You have a car, you have all these parts that work together. They should be able to drive really fast, but if you don't have the gas, you're not going to go anywhere. And that's the same thing here. It's like this unstoppability, this unstoppableness is the foundation. And, like I'm saying, like so many people think consistency is this, but really it's this. Expectation versus reality. Because most people think consistency is like, here, every day is just going to be the same. Every day is going to be perfect, right? So you have this day right here, which is a meh day, let's say. And then you have an above average day. You're like, oh, today was great. And then you have a little bit worse day. You're like, oh, today was pretty hard. And then you have a terrible day. And this is where most people give up. This is where most people give up because they think it's supposed to be like this. And if it's only a slight variance, if it's only a little bit higher, a little bit lower, they don't think much of it. They're like, oh, it's just part of the plan. Maybe I'm a bit unique. But then they have a really bad day and they're like, I'm not for this. This wasn't made for me. I wasn't made for this. I wasn't born to accomplish these goals. I should just go back to my comfort zone, go back to what I'm used to. And this is why they never get anything new. Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you keep doing the same thing and you expect different outcomes, that is the definition of insanity. And so I write here, the length of your degree of unstoppability will correlate to the length of your success. And I talked about this in another video, but there is this hump that everybody goes through when they're on this journey. This is one of my favorite videos I ever made because I think it truly paints the picture of what a fitness journey is really like. Because we go through these 5 stages. Stage 1 is the motivation stage. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You see a David Goggins TikTok, you see some YouTube video, it motivates you. You're like, I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to change my life around. I don't like who I see in the mirror, right? So you get in the gym, you're motivated, and then it gets hard. And then that motivation, it's gone after a week, most times. Most time it doesn't last more than like a few days, even a week. And then you get into this stage where this is where most people give up. And I added this picture right here. You see this biking up this incline? That's intentionally placed there because the reason 99.9% of people give up, the reason you look in society and only like 0.1% of people have really good physiques, even though every single person in that grocery store or just in that public place, 100% of those people have tried to get that exceptional physique before, but they've always failed. And I guarantee you they've given up in this phase. And the uncertain investment phase is what I call it. And this is where it feels like you're biking up an incline with a blindfold on. Every pedal hurts, and you have the blindfold on because you don't know when it's going to stop. You pedal, you don't know when it's going to stop. And that's metaphorical to a fitness journey where you're in the gym, you're strict with your diet, you're restricting yourself, you're avoiding temptation, you're making decisions that future you would be proud of, but you don't see the results. You wake up the next day and maybe you've gained a pound. You're like, what the hell is going on? Like this sucks. Like I should just give up. But it's those that can continue and get to this peak that truly start to shift their identities to a higher level, to an upper echelon. And this is the identity shift phase where you start to notice that the things that used to give you pleasure now give you pain. The things like skipping the gym, eating chips, sitting on the couch watching YouTube for the rest of the night, that used to give you pleasure. But when you're in this phase, you're like, I can't imagine doing that. Like, I'd actually prefer to go to the gym. It would actually give me pain to do that. So your pain and pleasure start to switch. And the same thing like with your diet. Like eating that pizza, it used to give me pleasure. I used to love pizza, but now eating it, it actually gives me pain. It actually gives me more pain than pleasure. The guilt I'd feel if I ate a whole pizza would outweigh the good taste of the pizza. And the same thing for the other hand, like the pleasure you get from eating the grilled chicken and potatoes instead of the pizza, the future gratification you'll feel from eating that good meal outweighs the potential taste of that pizza. And then once you're in this phase, you start biking downhill and you're just riding the momentum at this point. And this is the optimism stage. This is where you start to realize, I can actually become great. I've actually made insane progress. And this is where it starts to feel like you're making exponential growth. Like if you think of an exponential curve, it starts like this and then it spikes up. That's what a fitness journey feels like. It's like you're working, not much. And then it's just like the momentum just feels like such a rush. And then you just coast into the new standards phase. And this is where you can remember your old life. You can remember what it used to be like, but you can't relate to it. You've like truly rewired your brain on like a higher frequency. New standards phase is where, for me, I can remember what my life was like. I'll give you a little glimpse into what my life was like back in like 2021, 2020, before I started my fitness journey. I would wake up, I would eat whatever food was in the house. I paid no attention to my diet. I would play video games basically for the whole day. If I had an appointment or things to do that day, I would do them. And then anytime I'd have free, I would be on YouTube or I'd be on TikTok and I would just be scrolling, or I'd be on my video games and playing and trying to like grind in the video game. I used to call it, I'm grinding the game, but you can only grind on things that are actually hard. Pause. You can only truly grind when things are difficult and you're going after something exceptional. The new standards phase, which I'm in now, is like, I can't imagine living my life like that. I truly can't imagine it. I can remember it. I just gave you guys a little summary, but I can't imagine doing that today. Like my daily routine, it's like I wake up early, I do my push-ups, I hit the gym, I work on my business, I take calls that need to be taken, I make videos, I make these flow charts for you guys. It's like I do all these different things, and I'm not sitting here and like brag and saying like, oh, I work super hard, give me a bunch of credit. I'm just saying I can't imagine what my life, I can't imagine living in my old daily routine today. And once you've reached that point, you've truly leveled up and you know the results are you're going to maintain them for the rest of your life. You truly know the results are sustainable at that point, because the habits that make the goals inevitable. Remember we talked about the habits, the same way like this guy just focused on watering his plant every single day. The same way going to the gym, tracking your food, sticking to your diet, just tracking your weight, doing all these things that make the results inevitable, they will feel as concrete in your identity as brushing your teeth every single day is in your identity. Most of you guys can't go a day without brushing your teeth. If you went a day without brushing your teeth, you'd be like, I feel disgusting. I don't know who I am anymore. Like, this feels gross. Like, I normally have good hygiene. I like to take care of my health. I like to have good teeth, white teeth, but I didn't brush my teeth today. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, that disgust, internal conflict that you feel is what it feels like for me to miss the gym. Where, like, I commit to going to the gym and I don't go. Or I commit to sticking to my diet and I eat a bunch of food. And so this video is truly the ultimate guide to getting ripped. You need to, one, wire your brain on the frequency of, I am going to just focus on sticking to the plan every single day. I'll keep my eyes on the goal. I want to get ripped. I want to look my best. I want to get jacked, whatever it is, right? My eyes are on that. But if I don't see that right away, I don't let that affect me right now. I'm just focused on sticking to my diet, going to the gym, training hard, and tracking my food and tracking my weight and doing all these things that make the results inevitable. Like I said, those are the things that there's nobody who does them and isn't already ripped or isn't in the process of getting ripped. So that's number one. Number two, you need to be doing these things. Like, these things are very important. And number three, you have to set the foundation of being unstoppable. Because there's truly nobody who does all these things every single day who doesn't get ripped after a period of time. It's going to take a while for some people. It's going to be faster for some people. It doesn't matter. If you are going into this journey with the mindset of, I don't care if it takes a decade for me to first see a sign of ab definition, I'm going to do what's required, I can guarantee you're going to be successful. I can guarantee you'll get your dream physique. If you go into it telling yourself, I'll still work if in 2035 I still don't have abs and I'm still sticking to the plan. Because what will happen is, one, it's not going to take till 2035, but what you're doing that sets yourself apart from the rest of the pack is that most people go into it saying, if I don't see results in 30 days, I'm quitting. But the habits take longer than 30 days, and the standards take longer than 30 days to ingrain into your identity. You can't do something for 30 days and it becomes a part of you. It takes a lot longer. And so when you make your goal to stick to the habits and to develop the habits and to transfer the habits into standards, to transfer the things that you just do because they're beneficial to, I have to do these every single day or else I don't know who I am anymore, that's when you've reached the goal. Really, that's when the results are truly inevitable and you'll continue to level up. So anyways, guys, I hope this was valuable. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, you want my one-on-one coaching, you guys know I coach so many skinny fat guys, so many guys, help them lose fat, build a bunch of muscle, get ripped. You can check my Instagram. If you go on my Instagram at BetterLifestyle365, I'll put a link in the description. There is a highlighted story on my Instagram where you can just see testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. So many guys getting ripped, so many guys losing fat, so many guys getting their dream physiques. And that's just what I do. I'm real confident in what I do, and I love what I do. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can book a call with me in the description below, that Calendly link. And other than that, like, subscribe, guys. I appreciate your support. I hope this was really valuable. And those who actually pay attention and implement this will be successful. I can guarantee you. This works. This really works. And the ones that do, like, I get DMs from guys who solely just watch my YouTube videos and they send me their before and afters and they just get ripped, right? Because those who are smart can connect the dots and stick to the plan and figure out things maybe I didn't cover in this video. But this is really like the ultimate guide. Anyways, guys, I love you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.